Welcome to another exciting episode of Cars with Big Boy Trev. I am Big Boy Trev, and today it's all about the small commercial vehicle segment. You're a businessman, you're looking to make money. Bottom line is important. Which truck would you choose? So today on Cars with Big Boy Trev, I am sampling the brand new Tata Intra V20. But first things first, let's take a look at the highlights of today's show. This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, it's all about the small commercial vehicle segment as we review the Tata Intra V20. We analyze its cabin comfort, innovative technologies, engine performance, fuel efficiency, and of course, give its value for money proposition against its rival, the Hyundai H100. Catch this and much more on your Cars with Big Boy Trev every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. only on KTN. So before I forget, let's subscribe to the channel. So as you can see, Cars with Big Boy Trev on YouTube, click and subscribe and you get to see all manner of content from all the cars, from SUVs, soft roaders, sports cars, you name it. Cars with Big Boy Trev is here to give you nothing but the best in as far as motoring content is concerned. So click in, go on YouTube, find out what we're all about, and then we'll be able to talk about much more about cars. Welcome to CBBT News, where we give you all the latest news and reviews from across the world. First item. Now, the recently concluded Africa Rally Championship ended last weekend, and my friend Carl Flashtundo won that event in his Minty Motorsports VW Polo R5 amidst heavy rain, and of course that VW delivered that win. And of course he was followed by his teammate Mr. Tejveer Rai, and of course Jas Mangat completing the top 3 podium. And I can tell you that was just a tester of what the rally is coming. Speaking about rally, the Safari Rally is coming in the next 2 months, and I can tell you there's heavy preparation. Actually, the government has been invested in it, and of course the organizers are trying to bring everybody together, including GR. They're actually in town and they're testing out a particular vehicle, sampling the routes, and of course just getting the logistics done so that when the team lands, they're able to perform exceptionally well. Do you want a chance to be embedded with the GR team? Send us your thoughts as seen on the social media handles below. We'll get back to you next week with the feedback. On to our second news item. It's all about the Renault Triber, which we reviewed last year on Cars with Big Boy Trev. In case you missed, please go out to our YouTube channel and check out the Renault Triber review. So there's been a subtle update for 2021, and it includes the following. When you step inside, the cabin, the dashboard, the screen, multimedia information, it's bigger now. 6.5 inches multicolor touch display, now supporting Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And of course, it's high definition area to play a Bluetooth, music via Bluetooth, connectivity, and of course do screen mirroring as standard. Not only that, they've also made the instrument cluster more visible, and of course the subtle colors within the cabin, power windows at the front, and of course adjustable electric seats at the front, making that particular vehicle a choice you probably want to think of when you're buying your next car. Externally, of course, you do have daytime running lights as standard, and of course side repeater lamps on the wing mirrors. Again, you're noting that these people are actually thinking of trying to enhance the looks of the Renault Triber. We expect this car to land in Kenya, say Q3 2021, and of course Cars with Big Boy Trev will be the first to review the Renault Triber. On to our third news item. I can tell you, last week the internet was ablaze with pictures of the forthcoming Land Cruiser VX, the 300 series, and I can tell you the feedback is amazing. We all know that Kenyans and Africans in general love the Land Cruiser because of its capability and its imposing stance. So this new model, brand new model, of course has enhanced looks and of course has newer engines. So people are sad that they've downsized the engines from a V8 to a 6-cylinder, but that doesn't mean that less power. It has actually more torque and more power than the previous generation. Better suspension, better ride quality, and of course there are plenty of other gizmos to make it extremely safe. We estimate that this particular vehicle will land in Kenya by end of this year, early 2022, and we can't wait to get our hands on that particular VX. But the biggest question still remains, is it better than the Nissan Patrol? Send us your thoughts as seen on the social media handles below, and I'll get back to you with the feedback next week. Welcome to CBBT feedback segment, where we give you the voice to speak on what you've seen on Cars with Big Boy Trev. And last week we reviewed the BMW X4, and my oh my, the feedback was just but amazing. So I'm going to dive inside and see our social media handles. We're going to go straight to Facebook, CBBT_TV. And the first guy who wrote us actually one thing is a guy called Maurice Murangi Nyaga. And he says, the tech in modern cars today is high. I think with heated seats, you don't need a blanket. Trev, nonetheless, amazing car, great review. Thank you very much. I appreciate the fact that you're watching Cars with Big Boy Trev. We'll continue to give you more reviews like this. Another guy says, Sydney Onyango says, this machine is a road killer. I don't know what that means, but road killer means perhaps it's imposing, it's got power and all that, and it's probably the ultimate driving crossover. We can't wait to see much more of BMW. We're going to tune in and find out more on the next show. Now, there's a guy called Sammy Stepper. He says, this BMW is a road beast. I love this machine. So road beast, road killer again. So people love the fact that it is very imposing. And finally, there's a guy called Victor Macharian. He says, would you review the BMW X6 since you've done the X5 and X4? Yes, your wish is my command. We're going to find out and get you the review of the BMW X6 coming soon to CBBT. So guys, that's it. So if you have any comments, questions or queries, do not hesitate to write to us. I'll see you on the social media notes below. We get back to you the feedback next week. This is Big Boy Trev signing out. Take care and drive safe. So you are in the last mile connectivity business. Your work is to ferry goods and services from point A to B, particularly to the end user. You need a vehicle that just makes sense to you. Today on Cars with Big Boy Trev, it's all about the small commercial vehicle segment that now Tata is getting itself into. And as you can see, this brand new Intra V20 is here to make a statement. But here's the problem. We're in a pandemic. Businesses are struggling. Nobody's making good money. Your business is suffering. You need to make ends meet. And of course, your bottom line has to be made to ensure that you still remain profitable. What do? You look for a pickup that can just make sense. Taking from point A to B is efficient, it's reliable, it's comfortable, and it's durable to ensure that you remain profitable. So today, it's all about the Tata Intra and what it can do for you. And of course, we're going to start this review by taking a look at the design of this particular pickup. Now, of course, it's a pickup. And many people say, why do you want to talk about design? Well, design is important because, remember, Tata designed this particular vehicle with the premium tough philosophy geared towards the commercial vehicle that just speaks about robustness, reliability, comfort, and of course, efficiency. So that is the design theme around this particular truck. And as you can see, it's pretty beautiful. Take a look. Handsome. As you can see, the grille, horizontal slated, of course, with this premium chrome, just to give it that je ne sais quoi in India. I don't know what the name is, but again with the Tata logo emblazoned on it, again noting that they actually took time to design this pickup. It's just a workhorse that just takes things. It have to look good. And of course, as you can see as well, color coded bumpers, again one of the things that Tata have tried to infuse in this premium design look. So fusing premium in an economy package is one hell of a job, and I think they got it right. Now, as you can see, it's got a big windscreen that has very minimal A-pillars to reduce blind spots. So it's very good to have a 360 approach when you're driving this particular truck. And of course, the visual impression that it creates, that indeed Tata thought about creating a truck that is aerodynamic. Aerodynamics helps in making a truck extremely efficient. Now, another important factor are these quadratic clear halogen beams that have adjustable lighting, so you're able to illuminate the road as you take your bread or milk to the last mile connectivity, to the depot or to the Duka. I can tell you this particular vehicle again enhances visibility. Visibility is good for safety because the driver becomes alert of his surroundings and is able to see quite a lot, especially during the darkness and of course during foggy situations. This particular truck just makes sense. Now, top it up as well, you do have of course reflectors all around it so that you remain visible in certain areas. As you can see, there are subtle design themes on the door. As you can see, there's this hip line that actually extends from the top part of the lighting, extends all the way to the rear door panel, to this particular front panel, again denoting je ne sais quoi courtesy of Tata. And of course, the wheel arch, subtle design, not too fancy, not too shabby, just the right amount of design, coordinating and correlating with the premium look and feel of this particular Tata V20. To top up all that look, you do have actually this particular 14-inch tires that are actually steel bevel radial that are very strong and durable, that can handle the rough and tough of Nairobi or Mombasa or Kisumu. So again, very important to ensure that this particular car is usable in our sort of conditions. Remember, India has similar conditions as Kenya. So of course, with this kind of tires, again, they're cheaper to buy, they're easy to maintain and they're pretty durable. Now, as you move towards the cargo bay area, this is where the magic happens. This is where every person who wants to buy a truck looks for. As you can see, you can actually have this particular, closed body type of cargo bay area. It depends if you want a refrigerator truck, if you want an open top to carry your goats or whatever it is possible courtesy of Tata. But this particular one is a closed-sided top, and of course the tonnage. How much can it carry? 1.1 tons. That is just very amazing. And of course, to support that, you do have a rigid rear axle that is easy to maintain, and of course has a reduction gear 4.88 to ensure that you have maximum traction. And of course, you can crawl up to 45 degrees easily on a steep incline. That makes it quite easy because remember, Nairobi is also a very, it's next to Rift Valley, and of course there are plenty of hills here and there, so you're able to get out of situations quite easily. Let's move to the back and have a look at this particular truck. We have this massive tailgate that reveals plenty of space. I know you're wondering, how much can you fit inside this particular cabin? Now, if you're to stack up crates of bread, 120 crates. Now, remember, this particular truck has a flat bed, so it doesn't have the intrusions of the rear, the spaces where the wheel come in, the wheel axe. So basically it's flat, so you're able to stack up close to 120 crates of bread, or 180 cartons of milk, or even 90 bottles of 20-liter bottles of water. You're able to carry that and much more. So in Kenyanese terms, it can carry a lot. Sacks, warus, name it, you're able to carry that with ease. And of course, if you have any refrigeration that you require, of course they're able to tailor make it just for you to ensure that goods remain fresh for delivery. But that is just a third of what this particular vehicle can do. Let's step inside and have a look at the cabin of the Tata V20. So guys, you are inside the cabin of the Tata Intra V20, and the premium tough philosophy continues in the cabin. And as you can see, Big Boy is extremely comfortable. But start with the layout of the dashboard. Now, one thing that I do love about this particular truck, it is massive. So the dashboard has been placed further away to create space between the passenger and the dashboard. That also allows this particular vehicle to be very, very roomy. As you can see, you can actually walk through this particular cabin, so it actually seats 3 people. So clearly they thought about the turn boy, maybe your messenger, and of course the driver being extremely comfortable in such a small space. It's all about the clever packaging courtesy of Tata. And of course, what I do like about it, the dashboard is not just a flimsy dashboard, it's actually well designed. You do have a 2-tonality sort of design. So of course, as you can see, there's an oval and circular theme that goes around it. You have 2 cup holders, actually a standard right here. And of course, you do have an area where actually the vents actually surround the audio system, which actually has USB port, auxiliary port if you're somebody who has an Apple product and you want to plug in, and of course an SD card right here, and you're able to play your music quite well, and of course listen to music, enjoy as you deliver your bread or your milk, or whatever it is that you deliver across the great country of Nairobi or even Kenya. Right below the climate control area, you do have this 5-speed gearbox, which actually is synchromesh, and of course it's dashboard mounted to enable you to have ease of use. It's cable, of course, and it allows you to pre-select gears quite easily without struggling and looking for gears. This one is pretty easy. Gear 1, gear 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very easy to use and just enhances the drivability of this particular vehicle. Now, as you can see here, as you move to the instrument cluster, again, it's a full digital instrument cluster. There is no dials here or traditional needles. Basically, this particular instrumental has 2 dials. Actually, it's an oval dial. So the first one has the speed indicator and the other bells and whistles, the chimes that allow you to see it. It's also got a gearbox indicator to help you shift up when you reach that point where you need to be efficient. So it will always beep and it will show you, it will blink up to ensure that you're able to shift up or down to ensure that you're very efficient. Because remember, efficiency is the name of the game in this particular truck. Not only that, on the smaller one, it gives you a temperature and fuel gauge, and of course, it will also give you service indications. And if any doors are open, it will tell you. So all the electronics, anything that involves the engine and how the drivability of the truck is, all the information is relayed in a very easy way to the driver. So you don't need to struggle to see what is happening. So it's in a bright orange hue. So again, driving makes this particular truck very easy on the eye, and that's extremely important. Now the steering wheel as well, I love it because it's a 3-spoke steering wheel with the Tata logo on it. Very comfortable. As you can see, Big Boy is 6'1", and I'm a pretty big person, burly person, and I'm actually, legroom is fantastic. I'm able to fit quite easily without any stress, and the seats actually are very adjustable and comfortable. So today on Cars with Big Boy Trev, it's all about the Tata V20. It is a smart pickup truck that just makes sense in this era. So you're going to find out plenty more about what it can do, because we sampled the cabin, the design. It looks fresh, it looks amazing. It's one of those pickups that I actually like as far as looks and practicality is concerned. But how good is the engine? How efficient is it? Are you able to drive it from day to day? Can it make bang for your buck? Let's find out today. So we're going to start by taking a look at the engine. This particular engine is a 1.4 liter direct injection naturally aspirated diesel engine that produces 70 horsepower and 140 newton meters of torque. Power is sent to the rear wheels courtesy of a 5-speed synchromesh gearbox with a cable shifting technology to ensure that ease of use when you're driving this particular vehicle quite easily. You're able to enjoy driving it over long distances within the city commute. Now, fuel efficiency. It also allows you to explore the full potential of this particular engine, and of course it turns you a fuel economy figure of 12 to 13 kilometers to the liter. Now let's do the math. This particular truck has a 35-liter tank, and this is diesel, right? So if you do the math, the average commute for a delivery van is about 100 kilometers per day. So with the kind of fuel consumption, you probably use about 800 shillings in a day for carrying 1.1 tons across Nairobi. That just makes sense to me. I don't know about you. It's cheaper than probably what you find with a regular 1-ton pickup, but this one has the extra carrying capacity. It's very tough and reliable, and you're able to do so much. That the math is extremely important in this era where we're trying to save every single penny. Now let's talk about the chassis and the suspension. Of course, the chassis is fantastic. When I look at it from this particular perspective, it's been designed to carry more and be safe. So for the first time in a small commercial vehicle, they use hydrofoam technology to build this particular chassis, so it's very stiff and allows you to carry more load. And of course, the cross members have been reinforced to ensure that you remain safe in case of an accident. Now up front, you do have tapered leaf springs. So up front, you have 6 tapered leaf springs, at the back 7, to ensure that you have good carrying capacity. Not only that, at the front, in conjunction with the 6 tapered leaf springs, you do have anti-sway bars or anti-roll bars that ensures that this car remains steady even on different types of maram. Is it maram, dirt road? It's very stable. And of course, at the back, you have a rear solid axle that actually has a crown pinion gear of 4.88 to ensure that you're able to go down a gradient of 45 degrees. So you're able to have good traction delivery on ground, and of course climbing up a hill 45 degrees very easily, courtesy of this starter. So all this information is extremely important because you're able to traverse. Nairobi is, it's right next to the Rift Valley, so it's pretty hilly. So you're able to, carry that load with ease and without stress. So that is one of the things that I do love about this particular pickup. When it comes to safety, then you have a repertoire of safety equipment, from front disc brakes and of course rear drum brakes, and of course it's dual circuitry to ensure that there's redundancy in case if one particular system fails. And not only that, when you're doing quick shift, it's got a rev indicator, a match indicator, to ensure that you're able to shift to the highest gear to remain very economical. I forgot to mention that. That's one of the key features about this particular truck. So guys, that has been our extreme review of the Tata Intra V20, and I can tell you it is more than a package. It looks good, it's stylish, it's spacious, it's practical, it's efficient, it's powerful, and of course gives you absolute value for money. But the question is, how good is it when you compare it to the rivals? We start with the price. Now, Tata Africa Holdings will and give you at 1.6 million Kenya shillings plus VAT, and of course it comes with a 4-year warranty to ensure that you have peace of mind when you're buying this Tata Intra V20. Who are the key rivals in this segment? We do have, of course, the Hyundai H100, which we reviewed on Kazi Big Boy Trev. In case you've missed, go check it out and see what the comparison is all about. And of course, we all know this particular truck has what it takes to actually beat the rivals. So do you reckon that this particular Tata Intra V20 has what it takes to beat the rival, the Hyundai H100? Send us your thoughts as seen on the social media handles. And we get back to you next week with the feedback. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Kazi Big Boy Trev. It's an honor and pleasure. But before I leave, how do you catch Kazi Big Boy Trev after the show? So immediately after this show ends, let's go to YouTube for the YouTube premiere of this particular episode starting at 7 p.m. and you can catch this particular episode and many more that we've done across the whole 7 seasons of Kazi Big Boy Trev. All the Kenyan motoring from a Kenyan context is right there on our page. So go on, check out, click subscribe, and follow all the content. Send us your thoughts, comment, say hi, whatever it is that you want. Please, we are here for you. We'll read all these comments, and of course we'll get back to you, of course, with the feedback. Thank you so much for joining us on Kazi Big Boy Trev. This is an honor. Drive safe and be safe.